Hey, what is going on? My name's Tim Williams. We're here to break down the evening MLB main contest slate over on DraftKings. We got 8 games to go over here. Right before I get started here, just a little housekeeping. If you don't mind hitting that like button, it helps me out a ton. Subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And let's just dive right in. First game we have here, the Marlins taking on the Nationals. No clear favorite here, 7.5 over under. A little bit of a low total, low implied total from Vegas. Holloway taking on Fed. Holloway 5.9K, 24.8% strikeout rate. So that's pretty nice to see at that low of a price. However, it does come with some baggage here, 13.6% walk rate, 40% fly ball rate. And then on the other side, Eric Fed 8.1K. It's kind of pricey, but he's taking on a Marlins team that is a little bit banged up. I could see taking some shots on him in some really deep GPPs, 20.5% strikeout rate there. Also comes with a little bit of baggage, 11% walk rate. However, he is a ground ball pitcher. 50% of the time, he's inducing those ground balls. Typically, I don't really like to stack against ground ball pitchers because if they're on their game or just having a decent outing, it's typically kind of bad for the bats. On the Marlins side, I wouldn't mind taking a cheap punt on Diaz there at 2.6K. He kind of grades out well here. Marte, Duvall, Aguilar, like they're kind of in the picture here, but there's so many other spots on this particular slate that I think I'm just going to fade the Marlins in general. And then on the other side with the Nationals, Soto up top, my favorite, 5.6K. I think that's a good price. I'm not sure how owned he's going to be. I kind of really like the Nationals here. 417 Wuba against right-handed pitching. Turner next up, 5.7. Love him. Bell as well. Escobar hitting leadoff. I don't mind getting there. I think there's ways to fit Soto and Turner in your lineups by doing the 4 or 5 man stack here. Para, if he makes the cut, 255 ISO against right-handed pitching so far this season. Granted, that is a small sample size. And then Harrison as well, just way too cheap at 2.5. Next, we have the Phillies Yankees, 10 over under here. Yankees favorited. Sanchez and then Lurva. And I'm probably going to mispronounce all of these pitchers' names at 4K. And then the Yankees have Wojciechowski at 4K. The ex-former Oriole there. Nothing to really write home about with the pitching here. 10 over under seems maybe even low at this point. Honestly, with the pitching, it's going to be a bullpen game either way on each side. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Typically, I don't like to stack against bullpen pitchers because they get to do matchups and stuff like that. But Harper, Hoskins, McCutchen, really cheap, had a bomb yesterday, 3-1. Gregorius, really anybody is in play here. And the same thing goes for the Yankees. Yankees have a lot of kind of AAA guys in their lineup here. Stanton's just way too cheap in general, 4.6. Sanchez, 4.5. People seem to be loving Allen. Yankees fans are loving that Greg Allen at 2.4. Other guys in play too. We'll just have to wait and see what the lineups bring for each side, but you could potentially get a lot of value from either team here. Next, you have the Red Sox Blue Jays, 10.5 over under. Blue Jays are favorited here in Buffalo. Richards taking on Ray. Richards 7.7. Just not going to get there. Blue Jays, one of the top offenses, I think, of the night. With Richards, the 17% strikeout rate is not going to get it done against Toronto. 11% walk rate, giving up 48% hard contact. A little bit of a reverse splits guy. Just don't like it here. And then Ray at 9.9K, it's a coin flip. He's been amazing this year, 32.5 strikeout percent there, 40% fly ball rate, is giving up a lot of hard contact, but he's just looked so much better than in years past. He's been amazing, quite frankly. However, he is taking on the Boston Red Sox, who are priced really cheap. Both sides project really well. Ray projects really well. The Red Sox project really well. So this is kind of high variance situation. You kind of just pick one and hope for that, that outcome to happen for you. Martinez is cheap at 4.6, Bogarts at 5K, Hernandez at 3.5. I don't mind getting there. Renfro at 3, Devers, Vasquez at 2.8. That's just really cheap. I think you could do without Devers and then get 3 guys from the other side in Toronto. You could just stack this game. You can get somebody from Houston. You can get some Dodgers in there. So whatever it may be. or you're on the Ray side, and Ray at 9.9 is a pretty good value if he's striking guys out at that 33% clip. Guerrero at 6K, Semien, Springer, Biggio, guys I really like up top there. Next, we have the Rangers and the Tigers, 9.5 over under. Detroit favorited here at home. Lyles, 6.6K. 18% strikeout rate, not great. 46% hard contact. He has had outings where he's done great in the past. Tigers seem to be coming around. I get the matchup and I get just the punt play, right? And then on the other side, Manning at 4-1 just really hasn't looked all that good since he got called up. Rangers do have some power in their lineup. They also do strike out quite a bit, but I personally won't be getting there, but I totally get it if you're just punting. Rangers bats, Garcia 4-1, been kind of struggling a little bit. However, 264 ISO versus right-handed pitching this year. That is excellent. Gallo kind of priced where he should be at 5-1, 282 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Also looks really good. Lau just kind of, if you're going for a 3-man stack, that would be the next guy up, right? With that power upside. I think it's Nate Lowe. I always get him mixed up with the Rays Lau. And then on the other side, Tigers, Scope is in the picture. Badu's been having an awesome game. Cooled off yesterday, didn't do anything at 3-3. Grossman 3-6. Probably just going to avoid the bats in this one. So next, we have the Twins and the White Sox, 9.5 over under here. You have Pineda taking on Cease. White Sox are favored in this one. Pineda just really hasn't looked good since May 26th, just maybe shaking off the rust, but it's been about 4 or 5 starts, 21.5% strikeout rate here, 42% hard contact given. And then on the other side with Cease, what we know what he can do. I think the price is fair, to be honest. Tough matchup, though. 30% strikeout rate does come with that high walk rate at near 10%, 40% hard contact, giving up more contact to right-handed batters. I do like the Twins in this spot. Kepler, 3.9K. We're going to dig into some bat versus pitching stats. I know that's, a lot of people kind of shun on the BVP stats here, but there's some good ones in this slate. So Kepler, 2 home runs against Cease, 4 for 12. Cruz, 5-4. I don't mind that. He sets up really well today. Donaldson, same thing. Polanco, same thing. And then on the other side, I really like the White Sox bats here too. Anderson, 5.3K. Typically, I'd rather, put him against the lefty here, but 12 for 18 with 3 home runs against Pineda. I think that's pretty special. That's something that should be included. Sheets, 3.2K. He might be hitting second from what I see in some of these projected lineups. 432 ISO against right-handed pitching, it should say, which, I get it. That's a small sample size, but he looks pretty good. He has a lot of upside for that salary. Abreu, Moncada, Engel is back. I really do like the White Sox here, and that could be kind of a contrarian play. So we'll see. Next game we have up here, the Indians and the Astros. Astros, I think, going to be very popular here. 8.5 over under. I think they might smash the over there. Astros favorited. Morgan taking on McCullers. Morgan, 5.7K. Just a guy who gives up a lot of fly balls, 54% of the time, just about. Strikeout rate sits at about 22%, giving up a lot of hard contact there, 46% of the time. Taking on the Astros, who they showed it yesterday. They're back, man. That offense can really hit. So I don't like it here for Morgan. Clearly, I don't think, a lot of people are just taking him anyway, but McCullers at 10-1, he's kind of the high risk, high reward type of guy, 28.8% strikeout rate here, 11% walk rate. Don't like to see that for 10K. Does get those ground balls though, 54% of the time. His last 4 DK outings have been very excellent, 35, 22, 21, 21. So he is a pretty special pitcher when he is hitting those locations, getting that curve down. Indians bats in play. Really, I just kind of like Ramirez and Reyes, both for the pop upside. Ramirez rested yesterday, so he should be good to go today, 4.9K. Reyes at 4K. Disappointed yesterday, but these guys have power upside all of the time. And then on the Astro side, Alvarez, Altuve, Correa, I like those guys up top. Really, really love Tucker. He had a huge game yesterday at 3.9. Brantley's too cheap, hitting the 2-hole, consistently being priced right around that 3.4K range. So Astros very much in play. I think they're going to be very popular. If you're building cash lineups, I would probably start with some sort of Blue Jays or Astros build. Next, we have the Cubs, Cardinals, 8 over under here. Cardinals are favorited here at home. Hendricks taking on Wainwright. Hendricks 9.1K, 17% strikeout rate, good control, good pitch to contact guy. Wainwright, similar thing. You know where you're going to get out of these guys, 21% strikeout rate. He does give up a decent amount of hard contact, but these guys are just pros. This might be one of those, classic National League snooze fest games here. Hap 3.5K against Wainwright, 4 home runs. We like to see that. Wisdom has a ton of power upside. Wisdom, I should say. Rizzo, priced pretty cheap. He hasn't really been doing too much. I guess I would consider him in there as well in the mix. And then on the Cardinal side, Goldschmidt 5.2, O'Neill 3.5. But am I really going to get there with all of these other bats on the slate? I don't think so. Next game here and final game, we have the Giants and Dodgers. Before I break this one down, really want to just thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out, that big old thumbs up. Really appreciate that. Webb taking on Urias. Webb 8.8K, 25% strikeout rate. He actually has been pitching pretty decent. Just is a really tough matchup tonight. 60% ground ball rate, 16% fly ball rate. Not really somebody you want to stack against, especially if he goes 5 or 6 innings. And then Urias 9.7K. He's high risk, high reward as well. I just don't see the upside as much as a guy like McCullers or Ray. 27% strikeout rate. He does have really good control, but there are outings where he just kind of blows up, right? His last 5 outings, you'll see here, 8, 31, 18, 28, and 1 DraftKings points. So are you going to get the 31 tonight? Are you going to get the 1? It's a tough matchup against the Giants. To get really contrarian, I had some lineups yesterday with some Giants bats in it. They were literally like 0.53 to like 2% owned. It did pay off. They hit some home runs. I like him again a little bit tonight as a contrarian option in some of these big slates. Big GPPs. Posey 4.3, Slater 3.8 might be leading off. Yastrzemski 4.2. So we'll see what the lineup brings. The Giants are kind of risky because they like to mix and match a lot. So some guys will get taken out of the game. But on the other side, Betts, Smith, it kind of just stops there. Bellinger kind of struggling a little bit. Muncie's hurt. So kind of a maybe just I'm going to look away situation with the Dodgers here. Not to say that I'm going to play Webb here, but that could be interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. Until next time, my name is Tim Williams. Peace.